Everybody, Carol here. Welcome back to my channel. Today is leftover paint day. So I have a 12 by 12 canvas here that I've already coated with a color which was magenta, dioxazine purple, and black to get a deep wine kind of a color. And I'm going to do a pour called a Boilermaker that I first saw Christina Welsh do about a year ago, and she just did one recently. I've been wanting to do one for the past year. So what you do is you take your cup, and which is the same color as my base, and you fill a shot glass, which I have a real glass one, with colors and drop it in. And the whole idea of a Boilermaker is a bartender gives you a beer and drops a shot with the glass and all into the beer. So that's where that name came from. So the colors I'm using is my Saks True Flow Heavy Bodied White. I'm using magenta and dioxazine purple and aqua. And I've mixed some white into those colors also. I will have everything listed in the description below as far as what was in those colors, because they have metallics in them also. So then you take this just like you would do a flip cup, and there you go, and let it come down. And it's really suctioned there. So I'm just going to go around with the whole cup first and then pull it off and continue with the shot glass. There we go. And just basically spread it around underneath that pretty wine color. Thank you to all my subscribers. We're slowly growing this channel, and it's all because of you. Thanks for your continued support, and I wanted to make sure to tell you all that. And for those of you who are here for the first time, I would hope you will subscribe, click the bell, choose all for future notifications, and you'll know when I do the next pour. I do acrylics, all kinds of pours and embellishments, and I am just starting to get into resin, but I haven't videoed that yet. So I've tilted and tilted, as you see, always making sure to bring the weight back to the center so I can control what I want to pour off. And now I'm just doing a nice torch. And the funny thing is there is not a drop of silicone in anything here, but yet it's coming up. And I would guess also, since I have Decoart 24 karat gold, which was another color I didn't mention, that sometimes can be a cell maker. And as I said, in the magenta, I have, besides white, I've got metallic purple. In the purple, I have metallic purple with it. In the aqua, I have metallic blue. So there's metallics all over, and they can sometimes cause all kinds of effects in your painting. So I'm really liking what's happening here, and I'm just playing around with composition right now. And then I move on to some tools, because, like I said, it's leftover paint playtime. So, first, I mess around just using a stick, adding some more gold and other colors where I think there needs to be a little more definition. You could always add to your pours. It doesn't have to stay the way it is. If you feel you need more gold over here or blue over there, add it. It'll all blend in the end, and no one will be the wiser. So you see that I'm just adding, that's the magenta. There's some white. I added some aqua. My medium is 2 parts glue all and 1 part water. So in other words, a cup of glue all, half a cup of water. I'll put this into actually an empty glue all container, shake it up and let it sit at least 24 hours because it gets very bubbly and foamy, and it'll cause all kinds of tiny little air bubbles and little white cells that you're not going to want. And the way I mix my paint with the medium, it's usually 1-to-1, but all these paints have different consistencies to begin with, so really you gotta start adding little by little. That's what I do. I'll put my paint in the cup and add some, maybe 1-to-1 of my medium, and then more if I need it. And if it's already a very thin paint, like some golden paints can be, some Decoart, then I'll start with even less medium and make sure I get the consistency I want. I like my paints to be on the thicker side. Of course, there are some pours and techniques where you need to have thinner paint, but generally I like having my paints on the thicker side so I can control my cells. I used to use Floetrol, and there's nothing wrong with Floetrol. I personally just kept having explosions of little cells and having such a hard time controlling that it didn't work as good for me as glue and water does, but everybody's different. So whatever works for you, go for it. Now here I'm just adding some more movement to, you saw that I used a cake icing tool first to make some waves. Now I've moved on to my trusty fork and I'm dipping it into the gold, the tips of it, so that I can even add more gold into this wave that I made. I really feel like I need to have some movement in this painting, and that's what it's calling for to me. I think this gold just puts the finishing touches on it and makes it shine. Don't forget to check the description below in the drop-down box. I list everything, all my colors there, and my medium and everything for you. Plus, I have an Instagram page and a Facebook page and Etsy store and my email address and all the things you're going to need to know if you want to contact me or check out my other pages. My Etsy store, I am in the process of revamping, so there's only a few items in there right now. This month is the month I am just going to start replacing and putting up some new things. The past few months I have so many paintings sitting and waiting for varnish or resin, and I've just got to get a move on that. So that's part of the reason why I'm using up my leftover colors to get that out of the way, because I only have so much space here. So I've got to use my space wisely. I want to get some things varnished and resined, as I said, and then by the end of the month, beginning of July, hopefully, I will be able to put some new items up in my Etsy shop. If you see anything that I have done recently and you're interested in it, contact me by my email address and let me know. Before I even put it up on Etsy, I can let you know what the status is. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Look how cool that is close up. Look at all those colors and cells that came through with no silicone. I just think this turned out fantastic. So I hope you did too. I hope that you will join me again. And until then, please stay safe, stay well, be kind, and until next time, have a great day.